Hello friends, good to see you all on another video. Today we are going to discuss about impact on GST on the advances received. What is generally advance received? For any goods or services in business we can receive advance. The question is whether it is liable for GST or not is the basic question that need to be addressed. Most of us know whenever you receive advances for services, it is liable for GST. In case of goods, it is not liable for GST. That is what most of us predominantly understand about this. But is it the only way to look at it? There are several other things. What are all those things? Let us classify advances in various aspects. Number 1, security deposits. If the security deposit is not adjustable and 100% refundable, in that case there is no liability of GST. Whereas if the security deposit is adjustable against any of such supply of services, obviously it is liable for GST. Retention money, normally some portion of the amount payable will be retained as a retention money. This will also be treated as some kind of deposit. Since it already suffered, the entire invoice value is suffered with GST, there is no need to deduct anything more in the retention money front. Whenever we receive any advances for the materials, there is no need to pay GST for the advances. I am not saying for the materials. For the advances, there is no need to pay GST. Similarly, when they receive advance for the future goods also, there is no need to pay. Whereas if it is a service, obviously we need to pay GST. Now, let us broadly look at this advances category in this convenient areas. Number 1, if it is goods, it is not liable. If it is service, it is liable. These are the broad area. I will put one more step beyond this. I am a composition dealer. If I receive an advance, shall I have to pay GST on this? No, you need not pay. This is one important point which we need to note. I received an advance. The service not happened. Already paid the GST for this. I need to repay the advance back. The customer will not accept the advance without that. He need it full amount. He don't want to have any deductions over it. So how to pay this? Yes, you have to refund with full GST. There is no question about it. You have to 100% refund the GST. This is point. In the second point, I received an advance and I need not pay it in full. I need to pay only part of the advance back. In that case, to that extent, the part extent, the GST need to be given back. There is other scenario. I received an advance that will never be paid back at all. In that case, GST also need not be returned to them. These are the 3 basic scenarios which we need to understand with regard to advances received for such services. There is another question. When we have to discharge the GST on such advances? Obviously, I told there is a time of supply which comes under section 12 to 14 of the GST Act that need to be looked at carefully. What are the scenarios we have? Money received, invoice raised, service rendered. No, whichever is earlier it comes. Obviously, if the advance is received earlier, then it need to be paid. That's all. Deemed supply. Section 12 of the GST Act speaks more about it. For the future supply, when I received an advance or when I raise an invoice, it will be treated as services to be provided for the future services. That also can be covered. Entire amount on advance, we need to discharge the GST liability. Suppose an agreement is cancelled. To that effect, GST need to be refunded. When the service is not done completely, to that extent it need to be refunded. So all those areas need to be looked at it. Every credit note passed will have an impact of GST over it. Of course, financial credit notes are always exempted from GST purview. For the goods, there is no on the goods. If you receive any advances, there is no need to pay. Is there any specific notification? Yes, notification number 66 of 2017 speaks about it. Please make note of it that for those goods there is no need to take. In case of works contract, for an example, if the goods and services put together comes in a particular transaction, obviously it will be treated as service, and naturally any advances received need to be discharged with the GST liability. Is there any exemption even for the services that need to be delivered for which we received an advance for which we need not pay GST? Yes, there are certain services. For an example, if there is a zero rated sales, for an example, if this is applied to export, in such case, in such services, even if you received an advance, there is no need to discharge the GST liability. But ensure that this need to be proved as an export of service. Please understand, this is something serious. We cannot escape from it in the gambit of saying that it is a zero rated. Obviously, which one we need to choose with regard to interstate or intrastate? If it is intrastate, we need to choose IGST, and with regard to intrastate, we need to choose CGST and SGST for payment of GST liability on such advances. I hope you have a lot of questions on this. You are most welcome to call us, email us, chat with us for getting more clarification on such advances. Subscribe our channel, like our channel, click the bell icon, share this video with all your friends and the needy peoples. We'll meet you in the next video. Thank you very much.